shake it, baby.
Good morning. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm actually on the road again. It is actually April 2nd. I left home yesterday morning. Had a pickup in Bristol, Indiana. A load of porta potties. That's why I love Landstar. The uniqueness of loads. Sometimes you haul some stuff that you never think you would have in the back of the truck, the back of the trailer. So got a load going down to Donnalega. I'm hacking that name. Donnalega, Georgia. Just north of Gainesville, Georgia. North of 85. Back in the hills. And I'm picked it up out of Bristol, Indiana. It's one of the things I ask agents when I book loads. How long does it take to load? Especially if it's a regular load for them. Oh, and the response is, some are honest, some are not. This time, I believe he wasn't. I was told, oh, you be in and out. My appointment was 10 a.m. Had a 10 a.m. appointment. I didn't get out of that bad boy till 3:15 yesterday afternoon, April 1st. That's not in and out to me. In and out to me is at least an hour, no more than that. 30 minutes is ideal for me. But it worked out. I got loaded. Just one of those weird days. It's a Friday. I think spring break is going on. Yeah, it makes sense. My son was on spring break this last week. And on my way down, I get south of Indianapolis, man, and it had to be an accident of some sort. And I was shut down about the 53-mile marker on 65 southbound side for about an hour and a half. And then once we got rolling, it slowed down even more after the 50-mile marker. So I lost a lot of my time. My 14 was ate up. And I went on ahead and shut down here at this rest area, I think about the 18-mile marker. So it's Saturday morning. I'm going to get up and just brush my teeth and do my pre-trip. And I'm going to head on down the road. My inverter went out on me. So I'm going to have to buy me another inverter. If anybody got some insight on what it could be, I fired my microwave up while I was in the backup. And I heard it pop and I smelt it. So it sounds like I burnt it up. So I'm gonna go get another one, put it in here, cause I gotta have it. I actually sleep with a CPAP machine, so I gotta have an inverter in here because I gotta have some electricity. So it's one of my adventures for this weekend. I got a load that it doesn't deliver until Monday. So I'm gonna be sitting on it for the weekend. I'll tell you the story about that later, how that came to pass. But I got family in Georgia, so I'm gonna see them and hug them and all that great stuff and get the load delivered. And my next stop will be Houston, Texas after that. So stand by. We'll talk about this trip a little bit longer, a little bit later down the line. And let's ride. Good afternoon, family. I am sitting in Lawrenceville, Georgia. I know y'all hear me all the time. I'm always in Georgia. One of the reasons why I tend to gravitate to Georgia is because of the line haul rates that I can get. There's a lane that I have kind of leaned on to kind of start my journey a lot of times. I tend to be able to get line haul rates sitting around between $32, $31, $3,300 on a load that I can pick up on a Monday and deliver on Wednesday. In this case, I'm starting off the weekend, so I'm leaving my house on a Friday, delivering on a Monday. So yeah, I'm holding the load for 3 days, but it's a weekend load, and I'm actually able to get down here. So I drove through. I don't deliver until Monday. I have family that lives near here, so it's a win-win for me. Get to see some family. But at the same time, I also get the opportunity to kind of sneak in a quick 34. Yeah, I just left, but I get to kind of squeeze in a quick 34 reset, and it kind of helps out the rest of the week. So once I get empty in Dahlonega, Georgia, which is up in the hills, I'm about 49 miles south, up in the hills up there. I'm going to deadhead over to Anderson, South Carolina, and I'm gonna take a load that I'm going to deliver Wednesday in Houston. And the rate is not bad. I think it was like around, I don't know, 3,800. I think the number was. So in the neighborhood, gross. And then from there, I'm going to dead over back into Louisiana and pick up a load, taking that to Chattanooga, which would be, I believe it's about a 3,200 gross. So the week is not looking bad, and this kind of 34-hour reset kind of gives me a little jump on it. So that's a good thing. So I just kind of want to give you some of the reason why I end up heading to Georgia. One of the reasons, sometimes it just gives me a chance to kind of find a load to shoot back up to the Midwest and go back home. I've done that a few times. I've left the house, come to Georgia, Atlanta, Tifton, wherever, grab the load, shot right back up, went back home. It works. But also out of Atlanta, I can kind of go in any direction, from here. Loads are coming out of the Atlanta area. But you got to be selective because sometimes the rates vary. You can have rates as low as, $250, $280 a mile, and as high as $4 or $5 a mile. So you really have to be selective of how you choose and select your load, because you don't want to run cheap freight, especially out of an area where you can get good freight. If I have to sit a day to get something, I'll do it. Depending on deadhead out of here. So just kind of my mindset. So today, while traveling down here, I was kind of like wondering why there's so much traffic. It was on a Tuesday, on a Saturday, and I finally figured it out. Spring break. A lot of spring breakers, a lot of travelers on the road. A lot of traffic in Nashville on a Saturday. It was backed up heading north coming out of Nashville 65. I was in traffic for days last night. Atlanta wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I got through there pretty easily, coming over here to the east end off of 85. But yeah, man, it's a lot of folks traveling. So I wanted to give you guys a little announcement. I have had the pleasure of partnering up with Trucker Path, a great app that I use regularly, and I'm kind of honored to be a part of them. So I'm going to be talking about that app from time to time to kind of show you how I implement that app in my day-to-day trucking, whether it's just kind of knowing what the way stations are doing, or knowing what how busy the truck stop is, or looking at current fuel rates or prices. I'm also partnering up with Truckloads, which is a load board of such that you can use to find freight. Now, because I'm with Landstar, I don't necessarily look at other load boards except to kind of get forecasting. So I use the Truckload app in a way of me being able to kind of get a forecast of what rates are looking like coming out of different regions of the country, different lanes. So I can kind of get an idea of what I need to ask the agent for. Hey, freight is coming out of this area, at $4 a mile, $3.50 a mile. This is where I need to be. It also gives me the ability to say, hey, I'm not going to take that rate because I know what freight is coming out of this area for. So I use load boards for that reason. and it's a good way to kind of stay on top of things, especially when it comes to going in different regions of the country. You don't want to go where there's no freight, and this is a way to help you stay out of those areas. One of the worst things to do in trucking is to go somewhere. Yeah, you may have a really, really good load that pays outstanding. Like Florida, for example, you got a load that pays $5,200 gross going to Miami, but the loads coming out of there are paying $1.25 a mile. You kind of defeated the purpose. So now you have to deadhead 300, 400 miles north to get out of there in order to get freight, and you're not burned, 90 gallons worth of fuel to get yourself in a better position to get freight. So it's a good way to use low boards to kind of to stay on top of what the market looks like. And that's how I use it. And it's a good tool to have, especially if you're an operator, because you just don't want to waste your time while you're out here on the road away from your family. You want to maximize the amount of income and revenue that you're going to bring in while you're out here on this road. And that's how I look at it. When I leave the house, I have goals that I want to achieve. And when I don't reach those goals, I feel like I've wasted my time. Now, you technically didn't waste your time. You made something. But it gives you those tools, those apps, gives you that leverage, that power to say, okay, this is where I want to go. This is what I should be able to make in those areas. And let's go for it. Write the plan, implement the plan. It also gives you forecasting of, how many trucks are in areas. You don't want to go into an area where there's a lot of trucks. Sometimes you can't avoid that, but the less trucks, the better rates. Less trucks, better rates. You make a t-shirt that says that. Less trucks, better rates. So just wanted to give you guys that. You're going to hear me talk about Trucker Path quite a bit. Those of you who are interested in the app, utilizing Trucker Path or truckloads, I will put a link in the description that will give you a discount to sign up to either one of those apps. And I'm honored by it. It's just a great opportunity for me to share what I already use. Simple as that. So with that in mind, I'm going to drop or give out a few videos this week because it's trucking time. Spring is in the air. And let's do it, alrighty? Like I always say, keep doing what you're doing so you can see what it does. I'm going to explain to you guys what I mean by that. It's a personal acronym that I use, or not an acronym, a mojo, a motto that I use when I'm doing things the right way, when I'm focused on things the right way. If you're doing things the right way, you'll ultimately see the results. And that's what I mean by that. If you're working out and you're going to the gym every day, ultimately you're going to see the results. And that's just my mantra. Keep doing what you're doing if it's the right way. And let's see what it does. You'll see those results. Guys, we will talk soon. And to the young lady I met today, who is a prime owner operator, who's interested in coming to Landstar, that's a good move. I want to talk about that. Trucking, I love the trucking spirit. It gives you such an entrepreneurial fire. And I'm going to talk about the entrepreneurship as a trucker. You guys stay tuned. We'll talk later.